Kayabunya. Wanju Wanju, Nijat Wajuk, Nunga Bujak. Hello friends, welcome. Welcome to Wajuk Nunga country.
We would like to acknowledge the Noongar people, the Whadjuk people, traditional custodians of this land. We wish to acknowledge the strength of their continued culture and offer our respects to the elders past and present. I would like to extend that welcome to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people here today.
This year is National Reconciliation Week statement is be brave and make change. Is a challenge to all Australians, individuals, families, communities, organisations and government to be brave and tackle the unfinished business of reconciliation so we can make change to benefit all Australians. National Reconciliation Week is celebrated every year because this week holds two important anniversaries for Australia and for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. The 27th of May 1967 was the successful 1967 referendum, which is when the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples were given the right to vote. And the 3rd of June is when the High Court Mabo decision was made, which is when the High Court recognised that Indigenous people were occupied here for the British. The statement for National Reconciliation Week this year is be brave, make change. For Chuki and I, what we think when we read that statement is be brave, to do things out of the ordinary. If you hear racial discrimination, be brave and say something. If you don't know much about the Aboriginal culture in Australia, make the change and educate yourself. If you feel like your workplace can do more in this area, then be brave and be the one to change that. For us as the Hockeyroos, we are working towards creating change by embracing our Indigenous culture and having an Indigenous strip all year round. That provides us with opportunity to be brave and educate our hockey community. Other things we are working on are our education sessions and our Nindathana piece, which is our value work. In understanding the artwork on our uniform today, we have Kevin here who helped us design it, as well as myself, Chuki and Nova Peris. So Kevin, if you would like to take over.
Yeah, good afternoon guys. My name is Kevin Bynder. I'm a Whadjuk Noongar man here from Perth. My father's Budimai Nyamiki, which is in the Midwest of WA and New York, right up to Carnarvon, to Geelong, down all those regions. So I've got quite a big area which my family covers. And I've been doing art for a long time. I just released a new coin with a Perth mint, stamp, 3 AFL football jumpers, 2 cricket shirts, Wildcats and Perth Wildcats new season designs, as well as a lot of other things. I'm a busy man. So I want to thank Hockey Australia, Tyler and the girls for asking me to come down today, as well as design this with Nova. And I think it looks pretty good. So nice ochre colour, a nice ochre colour of the desert, and it's a natural Australian colour. So I'll just explain a little bit about the artwork. So on our left hand side we have the women's team, the Hockeyroos, and then on the right hand side we have the men. And these semicircles here represent the women, and the male staff, and these represent the males. So the males are standing up. And the reason why they're standing up, we're facing out, we're warriors, we look after our families. You know, we make sure that we do what we've got to do in the women. It might sound a bit silly, but they're laying on their back, giving birth. And that's the reason why it's facing up. So, you know, without you guys, without us, we wouldn't be who we are today. And these are our grassroots centres. So pretty much up and coming, you guys, up and coming hockey players, from the little leagues right up until you get to that adulthood. It's where we all begin playing sports. No matter where we are today, we always start from the bottom. Never forget where you come from or where who's been around you the whole time, who's made you what you are today. You know, and that's why I think it's important that we integrate that into the artwork, is because that's where we all started to grow as an athlete to where you are today up here. In between there, we have pathways. Now these pathways are what we call songlines. In Aboriginal culture and Aboriginal history, songlines are where you travel from one place to another. And you girls, you get to travel all over the world, as well as nationally as well. Well, you've created the people before you've created those songlines to start off with. So right from Jackie Mariah, Michelle Hawke, before them, their pathways have embedded into the pathways that you follow today. So you're taking the same steps as them to get to where you are today. And then before them and before them and before them, and you young ones that are coming through will hopefully take that step as well. So that's what we call pathways or sidelines. As Aboriginal people, we'll do it going from one place to another. For example, going from Kings Park, British Cutagutha, to Optus Stadium, to Meadowgrove. There's a pathway that goes along there. It's been going for hundreds of thousands of years. And the same people are walking along those pathways. They're still there. They're people for us, people for them. These pathways between the grassroots to where you are today plays an vital and very important role to where you are. And the people that are along with you, your coaches, your family, your grandparents, your friends, they're all part of it as well. And then you got these pathways. These coming into Hockey Australia. Obviously, with grassroots hockey, the ultimate goal is play for your national team, your state team. These girls are lucky to be where you are today through your hard work and dedication. I played my first state level last year of football and I'm 47. But I got there. It took me a long time, but I got there. It wasn't what I wanted, but I got there. You know what I mean? So I just continue to play and play, no matter what age or what level I am. And I was proud to wear that West Australian jumper. I never played an Australian team, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I got to one goal. So, the pathways from here to here and connected into here is the ultimate of the ultimate. Once you reach that, you reach your goal. But just keep pushing on and keep powering and showing, these girls, showing the young ones what it takes to get to where you are. Down the bottom here, this is the dining range. The dining range is at the back. For those who haven't been to WA before, the dining range is at the back. You fly over it. Now the dining range is in your own culture, the wobble, the rainbow serpent, the animal that created our lands, the one that gave it its colour, the one that's created the lakes, the hills, the waterways. Now without the wobble, we wouldn't be standing on what we're standing on now. So I always like to put the wobble in there because that's our first creator. And that's why I put the dining range in there. The body of the wobble is the dining range, so it's overlooking Wajak country. And on the other side of Wajak country is Belladong country. So it also acts as a border. And one of the important things with the dining range is that the tribal area used to travel through our seasons. They'll travel from the dining range to the coast. We have 6 seasons, so they'll travel through each season and live with other tribes and trade with other tribes and fight with other tribes if they have to get back to where they are. And then down the bottom, these are different ochres. Now ochre for us is our first paint. If you see in the caves and rock faces and whatnot, and you see that it's sprayed with that white powder, well that's ochre. There's not much ochre here in the city, it's up in Sawyers Valley, which is up in the hills. And when I said that the tribes will travel, well, the tribes from that area will carry the ochre down to the people down the bottom and trade for fish and whatever it may be, and that's what they paint. But we also use that in warfare. And each line, each mark on our bodies represents something. It's not just painted on for the fun, where it's accurate, it's a meaning. And when you go through Aboriginal law, you have different hierarchies. And each hierarchy will paint you with a certain paint. So if I see someone that got the same paint, I know his level's up here. And you've got to show that respect. That's how important the ochre is that we used to use. So in saying that, Nova did the kangaroo prints. So I can't say on behalf of what it is, because I don't know what it is. All I know is that kangaroo for us is very important wild food. It's only red meat with omega-3 in it, so it's lean. I've never seen a fat kangaroo. So it must be pretty lean, isn't it? And it tastes good if you haven't tasted it. It's beautiful. So I'm not sure what Rover has put on there to represent, but we sort of collaborated together to make sure that we get this one piece. So it's a lot for one piece of painting that doesn't really look like much. But when you read the story behind the artwork, then you can see the significance of what it means. So I'm proud of you guys for wearing it, and I think that looks really good. And I'll thank everybody here today for it.
Kevin, on behalf of the Hockeyroos and the Kookaburras and Hockey Australia, we would just like to thank you so much for coming down and expressing some education things for the girls here today, and designing our uniform that we love and that we definitely are going to cherish forever. So thank you so much, and thank you from Hockey Australia.
Thanks.